Hi everyone, I'm Josh with Northern Frogger, and I just wanted to do a quick video today to introduce you to my newest pet, this little crested gecko. Her name is Toffee. I've only had her for a couple weeks now. She was actually a Christmas gift from my girlfriend. And just for the record, I don't normally think giving pets as gifts is the best idea, especially if it's a surprise gift. But in this situation, I wasn't really surprised. We talked about it beforehand, and I was actually able to spend some time finding a breeder and a crested gecko that I liked. And I ended up settling on this girl right here. And I've actually been thinking about getting a crested gecko, just kind of considering it for years now. I've come really close to getting one a couple of times, but never quite followed through for one reason or another. But this time it finally felt right, so I went ahead and picked this girl up, and definitely no regrets at all. She's absolutely adorable, and I'm in love with her already. And honestly, I don't know why I didn't get one sooner. And I am calling her a her. Haven't sexed her myself. She's a little bit young, but the breeder said she was sexed as a female with a jeweler's loop, which I had never heard of before. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right, but apparently it's just like a special magnifying glass that you can use to look at the pores really closely. So she's not a crazy fancy morph or anything. I don't really know a ton about crested gecko morphs, but the breeder identified her as a harlequin with a partial pinstripe. It's almost a complete pinstripe, but there's a couple spots that are broken down near the tail there. And she is fairly fired up right now, so she gets this really nice kind of chocolatey maroon color with these nice kind of like white highlights down her sides and on the fringes of her legs. And from what I've read and seen of other pictures, they do change a little bit in terms of the colors as they get older, so it'll be interesting to see this girl grow and change as she grows up. And she is pretty young. I'd say she's probably only about 4 months old now, so it's going to be really interesting to kind of document her grow up on the channel here. So as far as her enclosure right now, she's actually in this one of my grow out tanks right now that I set up as a temporary enclosure for her. It's one of my 5-gallon grow out tanks. It's got a partially screened top to hold some humidity but also give some ventilation. The substrate right now is a mix of sphagnum moss and coconut husk, and then there's just some cork bark pieces and a couple of live plants in there, as well as another plastic plant in the back there just to give her some more hiding spots. And I've got the back and one side kind of blocked off with just this black poster board to give her a little more security in there. Now I do have another tank for her already, so she's going to be getting an upgrade soon. She's going to be going into this 12 by 12 by 18 front opening enclosure. And she should be good in there until she's nearly an adult. So hopefully for like the next year. And then eventually I probably will be upgrading her into something even bigger, probably one of these like 18 by 18 by 24 enclosures. But this tank right here I bought used with this background in it like this, but it's not really doing it for me. So I'm going to be ripping this background out completely and redoing it as like a nice bioactive crested gecko enclosure. So make sure you guys are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss when that video comes out. So for feeding her so far, I've been using the Pangea, mainly the growth and breeding formula, but also switching it up with just the regular Pangea gecko diet with insects, because I already had that I feed my day geckos. I have been trying to get her to eat some insects, but she hasn't shown much interest in them yet. I've just been trying to tongue feed her so far, which I think is freaking out a little bit. I'm a little bit scared to just leave crickets in her enclosure because I'm worried about impaction at this size. But I do want to be feeding her insects at least once in a while to supplement the gecko diet as well. But I am going to continue to try to get her trained to tongue feed for me. I'm not really too worried about it yet because she does eat like a champ on her gecko diet. And I know a lot of people will just raise them exclusively on that. You just apparently get slightly slower growth rates. But I do want to supplement with live gut-loaded and dusted insects if I can too, so I am still working on that. So I don't really have any plans to breed her or anything like that yet. I'm just kind of really enjoying her as a pet, and I mean she's probably a year or two at least away from being able to do that anyway. You never know, plans could change, but not really planning to get any more crested geckos at the moment. I'm just really enjoying having her as a pet right now. Bit of a different experience because I'm not really used to being able to handle many of my pets, at least with the dart frogs and the day geckos. I don't really handle those ones at all. I handle the snakes a little bit once in a while, but it's not really the same, like especially with that Dumeral's boa is kind of always on the move. It's a very active handling experience. But this girl will just kind of, as you can see, is pretty chill. She'll kind of crawl back and forth between my fingers if I do it, but I can kind of just hold her there and she'll mostly just kind of sit and chill with me too. I try not to handle her too much to stress her out, but one of the reasons I did end up going with this breeder and this particular gecko is that she was handled regularly and she was really tame already. And I have been trying to handle her about every other day, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes, just to kind of keep her used to me, keep her nice and chill like this. But yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say about her at this point. I didn't really want to do a care video or anything like that, just because like I don't really have any experience with them myself, so I don't really want to tell you guys how to keep them. I'm still just kind of figuring it out myself. But I just wanted to kind of show her off, let you know I had a crested gecko, and as I mentioned before, just because I kind of want to be able to document her. One of the reasons I started this channel was to kind of be able to document the progress of my frog room and the hobby as it goes, and being able to document this girl from when she's this tiny to when she's full grown I think is going to be really cool. So she's already growing noticeably in the few weeks that I've had her. So I can't wait to see until she's full grown, but I'm also really enjoying how cute she is right now. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed meeting Toffee here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already, so you don't miss any of my other videos with this girl or my frogs or my other geckos or just vivariums and vivarium builds. And as always, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions for future videos, leave them down below in the comments there. Thanks a ton for watching, and until next time, happy frogging.